All right. So a couple of days ago, we took my daughter, it was not really planned, but to get her ears pierced at the mall, which like I knew the whole time I was like telling myself, don't do this. Like it's not a good idea. You should never get piercings done in the mall, right? But it was there and my daughter has sensory issues. So I felt like if she was ready in that moment, like let's just do it. Like let's not put pressure on it, you know? So we go, everything's, like, cool, they put this anesthetic on her ear that she has to wait for 20 minutes, and which I wish they had kind of, like, mentioned before because she was expecting to, like, sit down and get it pierced, but whatever. So, yeah. So she wanted pink ones, and if you know my daughter, yeah, she's very particular. She's a 4-year-old, and it takes a lot of kind of, like, convincing and bribing to get her to do something, and she was actually excited about this, so yeah, she picked out pink, obviously, and finally, when they went to pierce her ear, it was the wrong color. So I was livid. And there was, like, part of me that was like, "No, remain calm, like, show your daughter that it's not a big deal and whatever." But the other side of me is like, "You had one job. You had one job to get this right, and you got it wrong." And when you're dealing with children and piercing their ears, it's important to pay attention. So my husband Max was immediately like, "We need a discount, like, this is supposed to be an experience and whatever." And she was like, "No worries, I'll put pink in the other ear, and then I'll change the white one." But Mika started crying because the anesthetic was starting to wear off, and it took her a while to get, like, the dots right on the ears and whatever. So, she ended up with a white one and a pink one, and she didn't really care about it, like, she wasn't that upset about it, but when the lady went to go change the white one to pink, it hurt. Like, I've had plenty of piercings. Don't tell me that it doesn't hurt. She just got a wound in her ear. Like, you start fussing with it, it's going to hurt, you know? And once Mika said no, like, that's her body. Like, I'm respecting that. She didn't want to change it. She was fine with the missed colors, but we weren't fine with it. So Max was like, "What can you do for us? Can you give us a discount on the piercing or the earrings or whatever?" And she finally like said they would give us something, and then like we were also offering other things like give us the other pink earrings so that when we go to change it they're both pink, like she has at least one pair that's correct. And or you might as well throw in the white earring. Like, I'm not saying we're not paying for this because we are, but like give us something, you know? Or so like the other white earring so that she now has like two pairs that she can use, or something, you know? She was mad, but she finally agreed, and then when Max went to pay, she was charging us for 3 earrings, so, like, the 2 mismatched ones plus the other one to match, and we were like, "No, that is bullshit." And, you know, I don't wanna make a scene, my daughter's there, she's enjoying her earring, but this has happened to us so many times, like, being abroad. Okay, well, let me take a step back. Customer service is different in every place, every industry, every person you're dealing with, like, it's different wherever you go. But the thing is that I feel like over the years in the US, it's changed a lot. I think we went through a period where it was really good, like in the '90s, early 2000s, and then it got terrible. And then now, I wouldn't say it's getting good again, but I will say that I was just talking to a friend about this, that a lot of companies are afraid of like bad reviews or social media or whatever, that they will try to accommodate you if it makes sense to, you know? So the way I've learned to deal with people, I kind of have like two sides of it. So my grandmother is probably the reason that Bed Bath& and Beyond went out of business, if we're being real. I feel like Bed Bath& and Beyond used to be so good about customer service, right? Like, you just bring the thing and no questions asked, even if you don't have the receipt, they return that for you. And then they started to ask for the receipt, right? And, I mean, obviously, that's not the reason they went out of business, but maybe it played a role, I don't know. My grandmother She is the queen of getting money back. Like, I have so many memories, some of them more traumatic than others, of her dragging me to the mall or Bed Bath& and Beyond or, like, even the grocery store and just being like, "Hey," sometimes it was a basic exchange or return, right? Like, wrong size or it didn't quite fit or whatever, and she needed to, like, bring it back, and back then, that was fine. I mean, I feel like nowadays there are a lot of stores that like if you wore it even for a second, if you tried it on, like they won't give your money back. I bought Mika shoes from Carter's or something a couple years ago, and I put them on in the house for her to walk with them, and they didn't fit. So I brought them back. And obviously I understand that if you've worn them, it wouldn't be like fair to return them, you know what I mean? But she would not, like, she would not budge. She was just like, "These were worn." And I'm like, "They weren't. I'm being real with you. They were not worn." I put them on her feet. I had her walk a little bit, and that was it. And I cleaned them, and they wouldn't take them back. And sometimes, like, you have to live with it. And sometimes you really have to fight. And I've had arguments with my grandmother because I disagreed with the way that she was going about things. I remember once I bought makeup from Ulta, and months later, like, it broke, the glass broke, and there was barely anything left, you know? And she was like, "Let's take it back to the store." And I'm like, "What? Like, they're not gonna return it. I've had this forever." She was like, "Well, the glass broke." And I'm like, "Yeah, and I understand if it had broken, like, it wasn't the type of thing where, like, obviously you drop and it broke. It was, like, something with the mechanism of the product. Like, maybe you can go back, like, that same week and be like, "Hey, I just bought this," like, and then they'll probably return it for you, right? This was not that situation, and yeah, I was like, "I'm not going back there with you." Like, I'm not first of all, I'm an adult, like, it's so embarrassed. It was embarrassing when I was a kid, but it was even more embarrassing as I got older. And she was like, "Okay, I won't do anything." Well, when I got there, she was already, like, arguing with all the people. I mean, she would say things like, "I'm older than you." So, I mean, she was literally the worst person to deal with. But at the same time, sometimes she was wrong. Sometimes she was very, very wrong, and sometimes she was very, very right. Um, you know, she also did some other sneaky shit too, but the point is, there are times when it is completely justified that a company should not make the return or give you your money back. And then there are other times that they are 100% completely in the wrong. And and then I also have my dad. So my dad works in a restaurant. He's been working in a restaurant for like 40 years, and he has seen all types of people. So, I mean, he's done some nice things for customers, like, if he feels that it's justified, like, their food comes out, it's cold, like, of course, he's gonna, like, make sure they leave there happy. But then he's had situations that he's told me, like, this woman comes in and she complains every single time she's there. And my dad literally went up to her and was like, "If you don't like it here, why do you keep coming back?" You know? Being abroad, I have learned that customer service has handled differently in other countries, right? So the situation I just had with the ear piercing, that was very unique to Colombia because we've had situations where like I needed to get my money back on something. And I think also being American, it's kind of like the thought is, well, you have the money to pay for this, so why am I even going to waste my time like trying to return it to you? I think when I lived in Korea, they had really good customer service. I think it's not just customer service, it's also like policies that make no effing sense. I remember once in Mexico, I bought a computer and they were like, "Do you want to add the insurance?" And the lady behind me was like, and so I didn't do it. I think it's a really fine line to walk, right? Like you're justified in everything, but then are you going to drive yourself crazy trying to fight these people? Like you can be a Karen, ask for the manager, whatever. And sometimes it's just like you're not getting anywhere and it's not worth the stress. And sometimes you go through the credit card, like when traveling, I've had a few situations And I went through the credit card, and sometimes they were like, "Okay, we'll return it," and other times they're like, "No, the vendor's not allowing the return." And it's like, what's the point of having this credit card? Especially when it comes to travel insurance. Actually, when we were in the States, like 2 Decembers ago, I was pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant at the time. It doesn't matter because the hospital report, they did a false pregnancy test anyways. Um, I had to go to the ER. I was having an emergency. I lost my vision in this eye suddenly, and it probably was from like stress and hormones. I don't know. Well, I had travel insurance. I've used that travel insurance before when I was in the States. And for some whatever reason, this time they decided to not approve my emergency visit and cover it. I'm still getting bills to this day. I'm still trying to get in touch with the insurance company to figure out why it was denied. No one answers. So, yeah, I think the point of this video is to just say that I think we are all, as customers, if we're not happy with something, we're well within our right to make a complaint. And sometimes that complaint is completely justified, and the people should do everything in their power within reason to make it right. Then there are times when, like, yeah, the customer's just wrong. Like, you ever see those those reviews that people leave of trips they've been on? You know, like, "Oh, I took this trip to Spain and there was just, like, too many Spanish people there on the beach. I really thought there was gonna be more English people." Like, you're not getting your money back, dude. I think working in the travel industry also, I've seen all sorts of crazy complaints, like, people were an hour late for a walking tour, expected the tour to wait for them. The tour did wait for them, then they never heard back. Like, they're gonna move on, like, they have other people there. Um And then they leave, like, a one-star review and want their money back. Like, you are not justified at all. Sorry, this is a small business, and, you know, they did their part, you did not do yours. Do not expect to get your money back. Then there are other times where the company is just, like, off their ass to think that they should not compensate somebody for whatever error or damage or experience happened. And I mean, it's like hours and hours on the phone sometimes, or emails, or this. And sometimes, like, I will die on that hill to not even get my money back, but just like on principle at this point, you know? And then there are other times where you just got to let it go. You just got to let it go. So, yes, I think the best customer service we've had, I mean, those experiences stand out to me. I mean, being in a restaurant and things aren't going right and you're spending money and you're disappointed and you genuinely want to be there and enjoy the experience. And, the manager, the chef comes over and is like, "I am so sorry. Like, this one is on me and I'm going to throw in a drink or whatever." Like, thank you. I mean, working also on the other side of travel, we see those things. We see those experiences and how we expect them to be, and we recognize that, like, things are not perfect, humans are not perfect, but, like, at least they did something about it. Like, I didn't even have to ask. And for me, that's the best customer service, when something isn't quite how you wanted it and people go above and beyond to make it right for you. I love that. I wouldn't even actually say that one country has had better customer service. I would say certainly there's ones that have had worse, where, like, I mean, here in Latin America, a lot of the time there is no policy for, like, getting your money back. Like, you just kind of have to take the L. Um, but yeah, there's other countries that I've been in where it's just, you know, they acknowledge it, but they might not always give your money back. So I think it's changed so much since I was a kid, since social media, since the internet, since the pandemic. It's changed a lot. And I think at the end of the day, we as consumers have to do more of our due diligence and research to understand what the expectation will be if something does not go according to plan. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Avianca. I already knew going into it that I probably wasn't going to get what I wanted out of it, you know? Not what I wanted, what I needed. there's other times when, yeah, I've spent a lot of money on something and I'm like, "No, like, this needs to be right." Another example, IKEA. So when I lived in Portugal, even if you assembled it, you could take it back. You might not get like a full refund, but you'll get like a credit or you'll get most of your money back or what have you. That was the standard. And I think it's the same in the States. IKEA in Colombia, one time, Max and my cousin, like, we bought this chair. Perfect condition. The chair is in perfect condition. It didn't fit in our house. So he and my cousin brought it back to the store. Like, they had to get like this Uber. It was like a whole thing, carried it, whatever. And they were like, sorry, we don't take returns. I was like, what? Because they have that whole Second Life section, right? So, like, where's that coming from? Because I'm sure the people who built the thing that's going into Second Life, they either got their discount or their money back, or they're bringing that shit back home and they're gonna try to flip it. Like, they're not gonna give it to you for free. Like, what? Um, yeah, so it's weird that also the same store that has locations around the world might have, like, different return policies. I feel like that's really weird. Um, but yeah, I'm curious what your experiences have been. And yeah, share them in the comments.